All right, today I'm here with,
Bob,
and today we're going to be asking him a few questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, what are your thoughts on the current administration in the White House?
Well, I probably couldn't say it on air, but they are really a disaster. And I can say that because I've been around a long time, as you can probably see from the gray hair, and they're terrible. And I just feel, as a patriot, that they're destroying our country. I do.
All right. So the next question is, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump? Do you like him? Do you not like him?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the man's amazing. Now, I do happen to like him. I think he's misunderstood with his personality, but I also think that there's going to be some people that, don't like his personality, but realize, I mean, the man has a track record. This guy coming forward has no track record at all, except a disaster of a track record. We're talking about President Biden now. But I do like Trump, and I think he's misunderstood. And I think people have to look past personalities to that point, because we've had a lot of presidents with great personalities that aren't really very good.
I'm going to show you two different hats, and you're just going to tell me what first goes through your head when you see them,
Okay.
being worn on the streets.
Understood.
So the first one is the "Make America Great Again" hat.
That's the original hat that I always remember him from 16 and 15. Yeah. Yep.
All right. The next one is complete opposite, Biden Harris.
Well, there's one thing I like about it. I think the dark blue's pretty, but I think the rest of it's crap.
What are your thoughts on independent candidate Robert Kennedy Jr.?
Well, I'll tell you about him. I mean, I go back a long way from my age group. I'm not a big Kennedy family fan. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad people, but I'm not. I mean, I go all the way back to remember Chappaquiddick and all that, and I'm not holding that against them. But I think, though, he has been, that's the word I'm looking, dissed by his Democratic Party. So I have to say, as much as I don't support him, I think he would actually, if I had to think of a president that would do better than Biden, I would think he would. But the same feeling I have is there's probably 20 different Democrats that would do better than Biden. And I'm not a Democrat, so I don't approve. But I think he's got some good ideas, but I definitely think that he has been dissed. And I don't like that at all. It's almost like happening to our former president with a fake trial and a bunch of crap that is the most ridiculous legal thing I've ever seen as far as legal precedent.
All right. Who do you believe will win the 2024 election? And do you think it's going to be a landslide? Do you think it's going to be a nail biter?
Well, I always think it's a nail biter. I'll tell you why. I think President Trump, or former President Trump, is going to win. I am finding people out there, again, that are actually Democrats, or kind of independents, if you will. Independents can be very scary. I don't think that the female vote of independents and that should diss him because he's not their favorite guy and says the right things. But everybody has to look at what happened the past, well, not past 4 years, but the 4 years prior to Biden. I think it's going to be a nail biter only because I don't trust the media, the mainstream media, if you will, and the Democratic Party.
All right. Do you think that Joe Biden should leave the race and endorse a different Democrat?
Well, I hate to say this, but I'm kind of glad he's in the race. So I think he's the easiest to beat. Unless he endorses vice president, would be even easier to beat. But outside of that, no, I hate to be selfish, but I'm glad he's in there. I really am. Now, what's out there to pick from on the Democratic side? Gavin Newsom is a disaster. He's an absolute disaster. That state of California is a nightmare. He would just turn this country even worse. Also, the fact that what the Democrats have done, it's not as they say, it's not my father's Democratic Party, or should I say his age group, okay? It's how do I say it? It's not the same. I mean, I was never a Democrat, but I have to say it was a different group. They were more honest. They had their beliefs. They were, and that all went down the dumper when Obama was elected, I think, in all honesty. So No, I don't think I'm happy he's running. And I mean no disrespect to his condition when he's in, but I also know that he is one of the worst, poorest. When I say poorest, in an acting sense or in a performance sense, senator there ever was in this country. It's terrible, and it hasn't changed. He's just older now, which
All right. What are like your top three favorite things that you like about Donald Trump?
what I like about him is the fact that he doesn't take any crap from anybody. And I know that sounds like a tough guy thing, but I grew up in a construction business, and it's a tough business. And I'll tell you right now, union, non-union, it doesn't matter. I'm not opposed to either, but I have to tell you, this guy cares about us. And what's happening is the mainstream media has done everything they can, formally and presently, to make him look bad. And he's a nice man. He's done a lot of good things. Does he have an unusual personality? Absolutely. But I want to leave you with something that means a lot to me. As I told you what I do for a living, people hire me, companies hire me because I'm relatively good at what I do. I build things and I do it well and I troubleshoot. They honestly don't hire me for my personality. And not to say I've got a horrible personality, but they don't care. They hire me because I get the job done. And President Trump will get the job done, period. The vets love him, law enforcement loves him, first responders love him, and many other people love him. And that's why I support him.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.